We had a lot of behavioral issues at home and at school. So that was our first clue that she was struggling with just being who she was.
And he was very tight in terms of some of his muscles, and he had reflexes that were still baby reflexes later on. At 3, my pediatrician in Ann Arbor, after we moved, said, "I'll be the bad guy," and he has cerebral palsy.
Liam was born 3 months premature, and he was a twin. We lost his brother after a month, but so we knew right off the bat there was going to be issues. The first diagnosis was cerebral palsy due to the premature birth, and then around kindergarten he was diagnosed with autism, and then he started having seizures. So we actually have 3 major things. We have epilepsy, cerebral palsy, and autism.
Well, in his case, just learning to do anything physically was difficult, but he built up his strength, he built up his muscle tone, so he's pretty good with all those physical movements now, and he gets involved with a lot of other sports and things. He skis, he swims, those help with his balance, but his cognitive ability is still quite low. That's probably the biggest issue, is his cognitive ability. He's not able to read or write very much.
The littlest things can set her off, and you don't know what's going to set her off. We've been to a variety of clinics and specialists to assist us with what's going on with her brain. So she's got emotionally impaired, ADHD, fetal alcohol effect.
He's very sweet, he's very kind, he's loving, he's a good kid, he's a good listener. It's nice to see, as he's gotten more mature, his expressive language skills are very good. So he's really good at conversation.
It's taught us patience. This is 38 years, almost 39.
And compassion, a kind of understanding that what we have as quote-unquote neurotypicals is a gift. It isn't something that we did out of our goodness or anything else.
And I find that what has helped me more is the things that God has taught me really before I met Yulia, right? Those things that are foundational to my faith. The love for God has really helped me persevere when we help Yulia. She's a very challenging person. You know, when somebody's yelling at you and throwing stuff at you and throwing stuff around the house, or, you know, you really need to understand that you must persevere.
It's humility. I think you develop a sense of greater human value and a sense of humility by living with someone that has a struggle like that, but develops as an individual and human being anyway. They overcome so much, and I think that the strength is amazing.
I think what we'd like to see him is in one of these mini communities of 6 to 10 people where he has some real friends and can spend some, you know, a significant amount of time with those friends, and yet still be in a place where he can, you know, get around by himself, go to the Y, go to the church that he wants to, and have a good life.
You know, my biggest concern is she's going to need to live outside of our home because she doesn't really like us. So she's going to need to be independent and not dependent on my other children. And she has the ability to do that if she can keep her anger in check and stay to her diet and do what she needs to do that way.
One of the problems, like I said, 41 different agencies. Every parent is on basically a treasure hunt, okay? And we're all uncovering the same rocks and looking around for the same kind of benefits because it's almost a don't ask, don't tell system that we have.
Correct.
From Social Security all the way down, if you don't ask for something, if you don't demand it sometimes, it's not offered.
Well, I'm thinking of the future. I'm thinking of Hayden's future, that he'll need somebody looking after him when I'm gone. And I'm hoping that maybe Lutheran Social Services can be that organization. It needs to be someone I can trust. I think it needs to be a group that's private, not a government entity.